What up guys, Shadow here, and today you join me on a brand new video. Today's video is going to be a more kind of listen to video, because the gameplay is just going to be me going down to the world boss and doing some world quests on my Shadow Priest today. But I hope you guys are doing well, and I hope you guys have been enjoying the videos have been coming out. Today I wanted to talk briefly about some of the stuff that was announced at BlizzCon this weekend. So we're going to be starting off with what I think is going to be really, really awesome for WoW, which is going to be the micro patches. Between the patch 7.1 and 7.2, there's going to be one micro patch that's going to introduce the new Brawlers Guild and some micro holidays. Now, Brawlers Guild everyone knows and loves or dislikes, but there's some changes. There is a multiplayer mode. I think this is going to be really, really fun. Personally, for myself, I haven't really actually done a lot of the multiplayer or the Brawlers Guild, excuse me, at all. So I think that'll be interesting for me to give that a go and even try the multiplayer stuff, which is, I don't think there's anything that they have actually done. Am I gonna go into this giant? Don't go into the giant. Yeah, I'm into the giant. Great. No, giant, don't do this. So yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. So yeah, the Brawlers Guild is going to be awesome. I'm going to be trying that out. May do some videos on that when it comes out in the half patch. Now, what does a half patch mean? What it seems like to me is Blizzard are making a very conscious effort to kind of work their way through... Thank you, Warden. Thank you, Warden. Shut up. Shut up, Warden. I'm going to turn my in-game sound off because you're going to be annoying. Shut up. So yeah. We're going to basically, what Blizzard seem like they're doing is they are adding more content into the game, but they don't want to put it into a full patch, so they're putting the little stuff like the fun stuff, not any like notable content, but just like the fun little stuff, like, I'll go over the micro holidays in a moment, but little things like they're just fun to do with, and they probably gave to a smaller development team to actually make and actually run. In that regards as well. So that's going to be really, really cool and awesome to see that Blizzard are doing that. I think they have really, really learned from Warlords of Draenor. Now, before I go on with this video, I haven't actually scripted this video because I wanted to kind of get my opinions a bit more raw than they otherwise would be. So if the commentary is a little bit off or there's a couple of jump cuts or anything along those lines, that will be mainly why. But we're going to be jumping into the micro holidays. Now, I've read over some of them. I'll leave the full Wowhead page in the description down below if you guys are curious. And we're going to have to actually find a group for this world boss today. So let's do that while we wait. Custom find group. And we are looking for Floatman PvE, sign up, accept me please. So yeah, so the micro holidays, there's going to be an Anchorage day, where you basically just go around in Cephalus, do Pacific things, and if you win the Pacific event or whatever it is, then you are going to be able to get your factions banner all over the zone. I believe that's how it's working. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section down below. And yeah, so that's gonna be pretty fun. We're actually here at the world boss, which is gonna be really, really awesome. So hopefully got some loot of this guy on my Shadow Priest that's actually getting there in gear. We're starting to move into heroic areas, and I just did the next part in the Priest campaign. This should be out in the next couple of days. I have a 2-hour mission that I need to do on that as well. So yeah, that's the micro holidays. Moving on to patch 7.2, there's lots of stuff that was announced, lots of awesome stuff. So this bit may be the part of the video that drags on, so I'm going to leave some timestamps in the description down below if you want to hear my opinion on specific topics. But I'm going to talk about the class mounts that we are getting in 7.2, as they are the most talk about things in my opinion on them. I will put some of my favorites on screen now. I'm going to talk about them in kind of general, and then I'm going to go over some of my favorite ones as well. So you get your class mounts from your end of your class order campaign. Now this is quite interesting because during just a night on the guild a couple of months ago or a couple of weeks ago in Legion, I basically called it and said that we would basically have a continuation of the class order hall campaigns, which is going to be really, really awesome. Now it's really, really cool to see that we have actually got some of the... Oh, my sound turned itself back on. Okay. But it's really, really cool to see that we actually do have continuation of the content which Blizzard started out doing and things like that. So that's going to be really, really awesome and really, really fun. I think that's going to really, really help the game. But once you complete your class order campaign completely, as in the complete full thing, not just the first part which we saw in the 7.0 and as Legion launch and things like that, which is really, really awesome. And I am doing a playthrough of a couple of them at the moment. I'm doing Warrior and Priest at the moment. We'll also be moving on to Rep Pally and probably Shaman afterwards. But that's preferably besides the point. So yeah, so when you've actually completed your class campaign completely, you are going to be able to receive some of these mounts. Now, these mounts, some of them I'm a little bit underwhelming, and some of them are really freaking awesome. Some of my favorites is actually the priests. The druid is pretty cool, and also the DKs, and also of course we get a derpy bat as a demon hunter, so that's gonna be really, really cool as well to fly around on those mounts. This will link in quite nicely to flying in Legion, which I'll come on to in a little bit. But I really, really like the idea of the class order halls, and also it gives a lot more replayability to Legion as well, due to the fact that if you haven't actually got all of the classes to max level, it gives you a reason to actually max them out and get them to max level, even if you don't actually plan to play in them. And it also just keeps you playing the game and keeps you enjoying the game, even though you have to do the content, like the leveling content, over and over and over again, and you have to gear them and do world quests and things on them and like that will be repetitive because you've already done them on your mains or your alts and so on. But if you are an alcoholic like I am, and you like playing alts and you like having other tunes and exploring other classes, then I think this will be really something that's really going to tether to you. Now, something about the class order hall mounts before we go on to Legion flying, which is I'll talk about my opinions on that in a moment. But yeah, if you go, you know, I think the class mounts will help. They are actually only locked to your tune. That's what I was going to say. I lost my train of thought for a second there. But yeah, so they are only locked to your tune, unfortunately. So if you did want, say, a W bat on a priest, it wouldn't work, or anything along those lines. If you're wondering what I mean by derpy bat, basically this is an inside joke for anyone who watched me play through the Demon Honey Siren Zone back on Legion Beta. And if you would like to, I will leave a link in the description down below if you want to go see that video where I meet derpy bat for the first time. But it's going to be very, very interesting, very cool. But before I keep ranting about previous videos that I've done and things like that, we are going to head back and talk about Legion flying and my opinions on it. Now, I'm very mixed when it comes to flying, because in Warlords I was kind of disliking it because there wasn't really a lot of content in the world. It's kind of a nice kind of aspect of life, kind of traveling thing, and the fact you have to unlock it I think is a lot better than just actually buying it and having the gold requirement, because it means you do all of the content which you otherwise wouldn't do. So it means you don't really miss out on any content, so you kind of earn it by doing the content. But I think that for world PvP and open world PvP, which is something I'm very heavily into, it could be a bummer. But in that same way, like, you got the world quest events that require you to land in them and things like that, and kind of go from there. And there's other stuff, and then you can do obviously instant PvP, and I mean there is going to be probably a booterang or a similar ability or a similar item in game which will allow you to dismount flying players, so I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue. I mean this was obviously inevitable. I mean Blizzard keep kind of throwing around the idea of whether we're going to have flying or not, but everyone knew that eventually we would have flying in Legion and in the Broken Isles. But yeah, that's going to kind of wrap up my opinions on the Legion flying as this boss goes down and we get our weekly gold. And I don't actually have any bonus rolls on these toon, unfortunately, but we are going to go and head down here to get to this little event area. So we're going to, I think I'm actually going to go over here and grab the flight point because I don't have it yet on this toon, but we're going to be moving on to some of the new PvP stuff, which I wanted to talk about a little bit in this video. As I said, this video is more of a talk-y video, so if you just want to leave it on in the background, it also might lecture on a little bit as well. So yeah, there's going to be some new changes and new stuff coming to PvP, which is going to be really, really cool to see. I've really been happy to see that Blizzard are actually kind of putting effort into putting into new PvP combat and PvP systems. The honor system was great. I'll do a separate video on my overall thoughts on the honor system. I'm going to start doing some more of these videos as well. Me just kind of talking to you guys about some of my opinions on some of the stuff as well. Can I fly here? Okay, well, that bugged out. We're going to fly down here, and we are going to see if we can get this relic, and then we're going to see if we can do some heroics on my Shadow Priest here, so we can get some gear, and hopefully we'll be able to get some Mythic Plus going on Shadow Priest as well, which is going to be awesome. Anyway, I've gone completely off topic. So, we have some they're redoing Blaze Edge Arena, but with this redo of Blade Edge Arena, they do it in a similar term they're doing in the Grand Arena. It's mainly just a texture rehaul and some kind of poly tweaking and stuff like that, but it's gonna be really, really awesome. So when Blade Edge Arena is redone, I believe there is going to be a huge 15v15 arena kind of little mini event or PvP stuff that will only be on for a specific amount of time. Now I believe they are going to be rotating around in a similar way that the bonus world quest buffs happen per week, or they'll be only on specific days. They might be on micro holidays or things like that, or you might be able to queue for them. I'm not 100% sure how these are going to work. We're not 100% sure how these are going to work, I don't think yet, but make sure to be subscribed to the channel if you would like to hear any news on those. And also South Shore versus Terra Mill is coming back. Also, War Song, where your flags do not despawn, which is going to be awesome. So you can spam cap flags, which is going to be really, really cool. It's going to be kind of interesting because I think it's going to be filled with demon hunters and rogues, personally. And also you have floating gravity side of Eye of the Storm, so flying Eye of the Storm. So that'll be kind of interesting to see how that works and see how kind of up and down combat works and see how whether range are overpowered in it or whether melee are overpowered in it, depending on how Blizzard do their Z axis or up and down axis, whatever axis that's called in that engine. But yeah, also we have a Winter Alt Arathi Basin, sorry, which is basically going to be where you can only see for 40 yards in front of you because of the snow and stuff, which is going to be really, really awesome. Now, where's this world quest? It's in this cave, I believe. This is a life relic. I do have a life relic on Shadow, don't I? Nope, this is actually only for my disc weapon. That's depressing. But we're going to do it anyway because for my disc weapon, I do need a life relic, I believe. Also, we'll probably head over to the PvP objective and do that for the artifact power. Actually, no, I'm just going to go do the artifact power because I don't really care for my disc weapon. But yeah, so that's going to be really, really interesting. And everyone is permanently on a ground mount during Eye of the Storm when it's Eye of the Horn. So that's going to be interesting as well. Everyone's going to be mounted speed, so it means Demon Hunters are going to be a little bit weaker because we're going to have that extra mobility. It's going to be interesting to see how those work out. I'll be definitely doing videos on those as well. And there's going to be some dungeon updates. We're going to get a heroic Archway and Call of Stars. And also, I believe Karazhan is becoming a Mythic Plus on 2 wings. So you've got the first wing and then the second wing. So that should be really, really fun as well. We'll do some videos on those as well. And also, we obviously have the Tomb of Salgaris as the 7.2 raid. Hopefully, we'll be able to jump in there and do that as well. There's also a dungeon that is sort of around the Tomb of Salgaris as well. We'll be sure to do that. And also a new golden trait for nearly every single artifact or weapon. So a lot of content coming in Legion. And apologies if I didn't really go over some of the earlier like the later ones on my opinion. It's mainly just because they're kind of just basic really, and we don't really, I kind of want to see how they play, and when they get on the PTR we will go from there and we will see how they play. And I really want to try out some of this new PvP stuff. And also, if you are interested in all of the class order hall mounts or anything along those lines, make sure to check the description of this video where I will link the Wowhead page, and on the Wowhead page there is all of the images from BlizzCon. So keep in touch with me on Twitter at theshadowlord1. And also, if you guys enjoyed this kind of video, a little talky video, I'm going to try it out, I'm going to see how it does. I'm not really too sure whether I'm going to release this on Monday at the time of recording this, or I'm going to release it on Tuesday, so we will see what happens there. But hopefully Shadow Priest gameplay coming soon, as my Shadow Priest is coming into the realms of being geared, and I have level 10 artifact power on it as well now, so I can start blitzing up my shadow weapon and possibly my disc weapon. So let me know what you think of some Shadow Priest or Priest gameplay in general in the comment section down below. And if you did enjoy this video, make sure to leave it with a like. And if you are new to the channel and you would not like to miss World of Warcraft Legion videos uploaded on a daily basis, and if you think I talk way too fast, then let me know in the comment section the comment section down below as well. I just tongue-tied myself even. But yeah, so that's going to wrap up the end of this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoy it once again. If you are new to the channel and you would not like to miss any more World of Warcraft Legion videos, then make sure to be subscribed to the channel. And thank you guys for all the support on the channel lately, and we are pushing towards 1,000 subscribers. I hope to see you there very soon, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Farewell.